What's up, guys? Today's video is about how to move out of your parents' house in easy steps. So let's move on. So you've decided to leave the nest. Congratulations! Moving out of your parents' house is a big deal. It's a process that requires plenty of careful planning, considerations, and adulting, as they say. To help you successfully move out of your parents' home, I've put together some steps that are sure to help you achieve the independence you want. Good luck and happy moving. Okay, first off, communicate with your parents. Perhaps your parents are ready to see you go and have been encouraging your departure for a while, or perhaps they want you to stay forever. Whatever their opinion on the matter, it's important to clearly communicate your intentions to them and, if necessary, your moving plan. Remember, even if they are excited for your new adventure, they could still somewhat sad to see you go. With this in mind, make sure to be extra sensitive to their needs and emotions when communicating your move out plans. Second, develop a move out plan. Before moving out of your parents' home, come up with a moving plan that both you and your parents can agree upon. I recommend coming up with a goal date for when you think you will be able to move out. This doesn't mean you have to move out of your parents' house by this date, but it is a starting point for you and your parents. Setting a goal move out date will give you that extra pressure, a bit of pressure as well, sometimes needed to get moving on a plan. What comes next is establish a good credit. If you haven't already established good credit, now is the time to start. For those who want to purchase a home, be aware that a less than stellar credit score or not credit score means you're less likely to obtain a home loan from a bank. If you're unable to get a loan from a mortgage lender, you can kiss home ownership goodbye, at least for now. If you plan to rent, your credit history will also be important. Many landlords and property managers now run credit checks on rental applicants. By assessing a potential renter's credit history, the landlord can get a good idea of whether or not the applicant pays bills and rent on time. Of course, those planning to rent without credit can usually have a co-signer, such as a relative with good credit, sign the lease as well. However, it's a good idea to start building a healthy credit score in the meantime. Next, start saving money for a down payment. If you are planning to purchase a home, you are going to need enough money in the bank for a down payment. To get there, I suggest coming up with a saving plan that is realistic and reasonable. Tip: this is the time to hone in on unnecessary spending. From temporarily canceling a gym membership and cooking at home to cutting back on shopping and travel expenses, there are a number of easy ways to save money. Fifth, determine your budget. Now it's time to crunch the numbers. If you're planning to rent, your current monthly income should be more than enough to comfortably cover rental expenses, including the rent, utilities, rental insurance, and others. If you're planning to buy a home, I recommend speaking with a mortgage broker to determine how much house can you afford to buy. These brokers will take your gross annual income, credit history, and debt, among others, into consideration to figure out how much lenders will be willing to loan you. Once you have a pre-approval letter, give careful consideration to a potential new home's monthly mortgage payment, utilities, insurance, HOA fees, property taxes, moving expenses, and more. To avoid feeling house poor, I recommend purchasing a home that you can actually afford and not one that stretches your budget. What comes next is find a realtor. After you have determined your budget and save up enough money for a down payment, start looking for a reputable realtor. If this is the first time you've ever purchased a home, enlisting a qualified and helpful realtor is especially important. In addition to a real estate agent's deep knowledge of the market, they also handle all negotiations and paperwork, so you don't have to. The right realtor should be able to walk you through the home buying process, keeping your interest, needs, and budget top of mind. Let's go over 7. Schedule the movers or enlist friends. Unless you have a very little to move, I recommend enlisting either friends or professionals to assist with the move. If enlisting friends for a DIY move, consider renting a moving truck from a reputable company. If you are hoping to hire professionals to help with part of the move, consider enlisting labor-only movers to assist with loading and unloading the rental truck. This trying to avoid the damage on your stuff. Yeah, you understand me. This will most certainly be less expensive than hiring full-service mover to handle the entire move for you. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go over 8. Donate, sell, or consign items that you don't need. How much stuff do you have? If your closets are overflowing, it may be time to get rid of your belongings before you move. After all, the less stuff you have to move, the easier and cheaper your move will be. Try donating gently used items to local charities and consigning nicer items to local consignment stores. Also, consider throwing a garage sale and selling belongings via an internet marketplace. Let's go to the next step, which is find packing supplies. From boxes and tape to bubble wrap and foam pouches, you are going to need to find appropriate packing supplies to help with your next move. Fortunately, packing supplies can be found online as well as at your workplace, nearby libraries, large retailers, and more. And finally, you're gonna have to do packing. After gathering your supplies, it's time to get packing. Suggest non-essentials first. Those items you won't need in the coming weeks. Examples are seasonal clothing, knickknacks, photos, books, etc. The day before you move, pack essentials such as toiletries, pajamas, prescription meds in a separate box that can easily be found on moving day. Make sure to clearly label all boxes and keep important documents with you at all times. In addition, you have to set up utilities and cable. Newsflash, if you've been living with your parents, you've been using their utilities. Unless you want to walk into a dark home with no electricity, you'll need to set up utilities and cable in your new place as soon as possible. I recommend calling the utility companies early on to let them know when you'll be moving in. Once you've scheduled dates for all utilities to be turned on, you'll need to call the cable company to reserve an installation date as well. You should change your address unless you want your parents receiving your email. I suggest change your address as soon as possible. Don't forget to also change your address from your credit card billing to let your bank know you're moving. To avoid confusion, it may also be helpful to send out an email to friends and family with your new address. And congratulations, you have done. You can pop the champagne. You did it. After saving your money and packing your bags, you've successfully moved out of your parents' house and into your new place. Congratulations. This newfound freedom was certainly worth every tedious step along the way. I hope you have a wonderful day. It was nice to meet you here. Thanks for watching it. Please share comments down below. Think what do you think about how are you doing with your moving plans and else, and subscribe, share, thumbs up. See you later.